At the beginning of the story, we are shown a prison built on an island, completely surrounded by water. No prisoner has ever escaped from this prison because only those inmates are kept here who are sentenced to life imprisonment. These prisoners are considered impossible to release. We then see a new group of prisoners being brought to the island. Among them is a young man named Edmund. Edmund is presented in front of the prison warden. Edmund tells the warden that he is innocent and has been brought here on false charges. The warden calmly replies that he already knows Edmund has been framed. He says that if Edmund had really committed a crime, he would have been kept in a prison inside the country. This island prison is only for people who have been trapped in conspiracies. Hearing this, Edmund is shocked. He realizes that even though the warden knows the truth, he is still keeping him imprisoned, which means the warden is also involved. The warden is shown to be a cruel man. He brutally beats Edmund and then locks him inside a prison cell. The cell is extremely small. It has only a tiny window for light and a wooden door. This door opens only once a year, when the warden enters without reason to beat the prisoners. Through this beating, the prisoners understand that another year of their lives has passed inside the prison. Days pass, then months. Living alone in such a small cell starts to break Edmund mentally. He cannot understand how he will spend the rest of his life inside this place. One day, tired of this hell-like existence, Edmund decides to end his life. But he stops himself because he believes in God and thinks that one day justice will be done. However, as years pass, even this belief starts to fade. After spending 12 years in the prison, Edmund loses faith completely. He feels fully broken because he is serving a punishment for a crime he never committed. He begins to believe that he will die inside this cell. Then one day, something unexpected happens. The floor of his cell begins to rise from below. Edmund is terrified. He thinks something supernatural is happening. But moments later, he sees an old man emerging from the ground. This old man entered the prison when he was young, but after spending many years here, his hair has turned white. He still has not been able to escape. The old man lives in the cell below Edmund and has been digging a tunnel for the past 5 years to escape the prison. However, he realizes that he has been digging in the wrong direction. The old man stands on Edmund's shoulders and looks out through the small window. When he sees the open sky, he becomes extremely happy. He tells Edmund that after 16 years, he is finally seeing the sky again. With the old man's arrival, Edmund finally gets a companion. After spending 12 years alone, his mental condition had started to decline, but now he has someone to talk to. The old man explains that after seeing the sky, he now knows the correct direction to dig the tunnel. He tells Edmund that together they can escape much faster. He offers Edmund a deal. If Edmund helps him dig the tunnel, he will teach him science, mathematics, reading, and writing. Edmund, who has been extremely lonely for years, immediately agrees. The old man takes Edmund through the tunnel into his own cell. Edmund is shocked by what he sees. The old man's cell is much larger. It has chairs to sit on and many books for passing time. Just as they are about to start digging, they hear footsteps of a guard. Edmund quickly returns to his own cell and places the waste bucket near the door. In this prison, the cell door opens only twice a day. Once to take waste, and once to deliver evening food. The rest of the time, they are left completely alone, which gives them enough time to dig the tunnel. They begin working according to plan. After months of effort, the tunnel becomes very long. The soil they dig out is placed inside the waste bucket, which the guards unknowingly throw away along with other waste. Days pass like this. The old man teaches Edmund how to read and write. He also teaches him sword fighting techniques. Over time, Edmund becomes skilled in sword fighting and even defeats the old man in practice. One evening, the old man shares his past. He explains that he once served in Napoleon's army. Later, he left the army and became the secretary of a very wealthy man named Spada. After working for him for many years, Spada died. After his death, rumors spread that Spada had hidden a massive treasure somewhere. Napoleon wanted that treasure. Because the old man was Spada's secretary, Napoleon captured him and questioned him. But the old man truly knew nothing. After torturing him, Napoleon sent him to this prison. Hearing this makes Edmund angry because he too is suffering due to Napoleon's deception. Edmund then shares his own story, and the scene shifts into a flashback. We see Edmund and his childhood friend Fernand on a small boat with other crew members. They work for a merchant ship company. One day, their ship's captain suddenly falls seriously ill. Edmund decides to take him by boat to a nearby island for treatment. When they reach the island, British soldiers capture them. A man named Napoleon appears. He is the same man responsible for the old man's imprisonment. Napoleon was once the ruler of France, but was removed due to betrayal and imprisoned on this island. British soldiers are stationed there to monitor him. Napoleon tells the soldiers that Edmund and Fernand are not his allies, and that they can kill them if they want. The soldiers question Edmund, and he explains they are simple ship workers trying to save their captain. The soldiers release them. Napoleon then takes advantage of the situation and brings the captain to his room, calling a doctor to treat him. Edmund becomes grateful and believes Napoleon is a good man. But Napoleon is acting only for his own benefit. Later, Napoleon calls Edmund and praises him for trying to save his captain. He gives Edmund a letter and asks him to deliver it to his friend Clarion. Napoleon assures him that the letter will not cause any trouble and tells him to keep it secret. Fernand secretly witnesses this exchange. That night, Edmund thanks Fernand for always standing by him. Fernand gives Edmund a chess king piece and says that it is not necessary for him to always remain by his side. The next morning, Edmund learns that the captain has died. He and Fernand bring the body back to the city. At the ship company, a senior worker named Danglars complains about Edmund's decision. However, the company owner praises Edmund's honesty and bravery and makes him the new captain. Danglars becomes furious. Edmund happily goes to his girlfriend Mercedes and proposes marriage. Fernand is present, secretly jealous because he has always loved Mercedes. Fernand meets Danglars, and both begin plotting against Edmund. Fernand tells Danglars about Napoleon's letter. They decide to frame Edmund. Soon after, Edmund is arrested and taken to Magistrate Villefort. Villefort reads the letter and realizes it contains secret information. When Edmund reveals the recipient's name, Villefort panics because Clarion is his father. To protect himself, Villefort burns the letter and pretends to help Edmund. But later, Edmund is betrayed and arrested again. Fernand confesses his betrayal. Edmund is sent to the island prison, and the story returns to the present. Back in the tunnel, Edmund and the old man see plant roots, realizing they are close to freedom. Suddenly, the tunnel collapses. The old man is crushed by rocks. Before dying, he reveals the truth about the treasure and gives Edmund a map, asking him to use it for good. The old man dies, leaving Edmund alone again. Later, guards find the old man dead. Edmund hides. An idea comes to his mind. He switches places with the old man's body inside a burial bag. That night, during a storm, the guards throw the bag into the sea. Just before being dropped, Edmund grabs the warden and pulls him into the water. After surfacing, Edmund realizes that the time for revenge has finally arrived. He drowns the warden repeatedly in the water and kills him without mercy. After that, Edmund keeps swimming far into the sea without looking back. The next morning, when Edmund opens his eyes, he finds himself on an island. After 12 long years, breathing freely under the open sky makes him feel truly alive. He becomes extremely happy and starts running around the island like a madman, enjoying his freedom. But this happiness lasts only for a short time. Soon, he notices several men watching him closely. These men turn out to be sea pirates. They have come to the island to kill one of their own companions who betrayed their leader. The pirates capture Edmund, and their leader tells him that he will spare his life, but only on one condition. Edmund must fight their traitor companion, who they plan to kill anyway. The leader explains that if their man, Jacob, defeats Edmund, Jacob will be allowed to rejoin the pirate crew. But if Edmund wins, they will let him go free. Edmund has no other choice. If he refuses, the pirates will kill him immediately. So Edmund agrees to fight Jacob. Soon the fight begins. Jacob is highly skilled in sword fighting, but he cannot last long against Edmund. Edmund has learned all his techniques from the old master in prison. In the end, Edmund strikes Jacob and knocks him to the ground. However, instead of killing him, Edmund stops. He tells the pirate leader that both he and Jacob can work for him. He explains that this will make the crew even stronger and promises to take full responsibility for Jacob, assuring that Jacob will never betray them again. The pirate leader is impressed by Edmund's mercy and intelligence. Jacob also swears that from this day forward, he will serve Edmund for the rest of his life. After this, they all set sail toward France. During the journey, the pirate leader notices Edmund's long hair and beard and asks how he ended up like this and what happened to him. Edmund tells him his entire story. After hearing everything, the pirate leader understands Edmund's suffering and decides to set him free so he can take his revenge. Jacob also chooses to stay with Edmund because Edmund saved his life. Edmund then goes straight to the company where he used to work 13 years ago. When he enters, he sees that everything has changed. After 13 years, Edmund himself has changed completely as well. The company owner does not recognize him. This is the same man who once promoted Edmund to ship captain. Edmund introduces himself as Monte Cristo and tells the owner that he was Edmund's friend and wants to know about Edmund's family. The old man tells him that Edmund was declared a traitor for supporting Napoleon. When this news reached Edmund's father, he was unable to bear the shame and hanged himself. Hearing this, Edmund is deeply shaken. He asks who accused Edmund of treason. The old man replies that it was the magistrate named Villefort. Edmund also learns that after he was imprisoned, his girlfriend Mercedes married his childhood friend Fernand. The next morning, Edmund and Jacob set out in a boat toward the place marked on the treasure map. Following the map, they reach an island. The island is very large, making it difficult to find the treasure. But when they reach the center of the island, they see a pond. Edmund notices something inside the water. He jumps in and discovers the hidden treasure. As soon as he opens one chest, he sees shining gold. Jacob is overjoyed. They load as much gold as they can onto the boat. There are many more chests filled with gold, and they realize they would need a larger ship to carry it all. Despite finding the treasure, Edmund is not happy. Jacob asks him what more he could possibly want now that he has become one of the richest men in the world. Edmund replies that he wants revenge. He says that he will use this wealth only to destroy those who betrayed him. Then comes the biggest twist of the story. Edmund changes his identity and takes the name Count of Monte Cristo. He buys a grand mansion and presents himself as a new wealthy noble in France. He invites other rich and influential people to a lavish party at his house. His luxurious lifestyle makes him famous throughout France, and people begin to take interest in him. But in reality, Edmund is doing all this to attract the attention of his traitorous friend Fernand. However, Fernand does not attend the party. This makes Edmund angry, and he decides to find Fernand's weakness. Edmund learns that Fernand has taken a large loan from a bank. Edmund orders his men to buy the bank and pressure Fernand to repay the loan. We then see Fernand's life. He married Mercedes but never gave her happiness. He spends his days with other women and wastes most of his time gambling and drinking. Jacob informs Edmund that Fernand has a son. After hearing this, Edmund creates a strong plan. With the help of his pirate companions, Edmund arranges for Fernand's son to be kidnapped so that he can later rescue him and appear as a hero. Everything goes according to plan. Edmund rescues Fernand's son, Robert, from the kidnappers. Robert believes Edmund saved his life and becomes very grateful to him. Robert thanks Edmund and invites him to his birthday party. Edmund first hesitates but then agrees. At the party, Robert introduces Edmund to his father Fernand. After 13 years, the two traitors stand face to face again. Fernand does not recognize Edmund due to his changed appearance. However, when Mercedes sees Edmund, she feels something strange. His face looks familiar to her. She thanks Edmund for saving her son's life. Edmund then asks Fernand for permission to dance with Mercedes, and Fernand agrees. While dancing, Mercedes tells Edmund that his face reminds her of someone she loved deeply. Edmund asks where that man is now. Mercedes replies that he is dead. After the dance, Edmund continues with his plan. Mercedes keeps watching him. When Edmund twists his hair in a familiar way, Mercedes immediately recognizes him, as this was Edmund's old habit. Later, Magistrate Villefort also arrives at the party. Edmund knows Fernand desperately needs money, so he approaches Fernand and Villefort and boasts that he has found a massive treasure and that a ship loaded with gold will arrive the next day. He tells Villefort that since he controls the police, he can easily help protect the gold. Edmund then tells Fernand that he wants him to deliver the gold to his house, promising both of them a share. Fernand and Villefort happily agree. Afterward, Villefort and Fernand secretly plan to steal the gold before it arrives. Fernand says he knows someone who can help them. He is talking about Danglars, the same man who was unhappy when Edmund became ship captain 13 years ago. Once again, the same three men who framed Edmund come together, unaware that Edmund has deliberately gathered them. After the party, Mercedes secretly comes to Edmund's carriage and tearfully tells him that she knows he is Edmund. Edmund replies coldly that the Edmund she married died long ago. He still loves Mercedes, but he fears that revealing the truth will ruin his revenge plan. So he sends her away. The next day, Danglars hijacks the ship carrying Edmund's gold. But he does not know that Edmund is already waiting with the police. Danglars is arrested. When he tries to escape, Edmund confronts him and puts a rope around his neck. Before killing him, Edmund reveals his identity, so Danglars understands why he is dying. Edmund's next target is Magistrate Villefort. Edmund confronts him and reveals the truth. Villefort admits that he framed Edmund to protect his own father. He believes Edmund can do nothing without proof. Edmund smiles as the police enter the room, having heard everything. Villefort is arrested and placed in the same prison Edmund once suffered in. Fernand prepares to flee. Mercedes refuses to go with him. She reveals that Robert is actually Edmund's son. Enraged, Fernand leaves alone. He goes to the place where he hid the stolen treasure, but finds only dirt and a chess king piece, realizing Edmund is alive. Edmund appears, and after a fierce fight, Edmund kills Fernand. In the end, Edmund takes Mercedes and Robert back to the island where he was imprisoned. He honors his old master by leaving his sword there and vows to use his wealth for good. He buys the island, frees all the prisoners, and shuts down the prison forever, ensuring no one else suffers as he once did.